in New York, moving the division lead back to double digits. Now the trip flies south for the first Marlins sighting since early April. Roark gets it started under the roof in Miami. It's a palm tree. We must be in South Florida. So from the big city down to the beaches, a couple of guys giving us support on the road. Well done, gentlemen. Hoping to rock another Curly W series. FP along in a moment. And wasn't that a great weekend in New York? The Nats doing a couple of things they have to do to take care of things. Winning on the road and winning in the division. So even though some of these ball clubs play the Nationals tough, they are 21-13, 8 over 500 against the National League East. Murph always leads the way when the guys go to New York, and as he practices his poses for this series. How about that? You go to town in New York, 8.5 up, you leave 10.5 up.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, if you'd have told the Nats 3 out of 4 in New York at Citi Field, or Nats Park North as we're calling it now, where they've had some serious ownage. Great weekend. But you can't have a letdown here at Marlins Park. It's a tough place to play because of the atmosphere.
Yeah, you have to create your own noise, your own excitement. The Marlins have been fairly good lately. Got off to a horrendous start, 30-37, but they've won 13 of their last 20. They have dominated recently at home. Coming off a couple of tough losses at Atlanta, they score a lot, but they give up a lot.
Well, they got some guys that hit taters. Stanton, Yelich, Bohr, guys are hitting home runs. Ozuna's having a great season. So when you look at this series, it's going to be very offensive. I'm looking at high-scoring games. To me, though, the key with all the sluggers for the Nats and all the sluggers for the Marlins is the leadoff hitters. Trey Turner with 26 stolen bases. D. Gordon with 25 stolen bases. Which one of those guys gets on the most is going to win this series.
Everybody talks about home runs in the Nationals. This is a big ballpark, but you can still do a lot of offensive damage here because the gaps are so big.
Well, the gaps are so big, and the Marlins starting rotation has been a problem for them this year. So they have a tough matchup against the Nats. Their bullpen has been struggling. There's lots of places to get hits, like you said, like Colorado. There's a lot of places for line drives and bloopers to drop.
Well, Ryan Zimmerman, how about big flies in line drives? So he's second in the league in home runs. Bryce Harper is in the top 7, along with Giancarlo. And then they've got a left-handed guy from Virginia, Justin Bohr, who's in that category. But their top home run hitter right now is Marcell Ozuna. More on the offense, the pitching matchups, as we get ready for a series in Miami. Boy, you appreciate their roof on a day like this. Been raining a good part of the day. You always know you're going to be on time and play here. The pitchers love it, and so do we. So it's Roark and Nicolino tonight. Then tomorrow, Gio, 6-3 career against Edinson Volquez. And on Wednesday afternoon, Max Scherzer, 6-2 against the Marlins, against Dan Straley, who up to a couple of weeks ago, one of the hardest guys to hit in the National League. Going to go back to April 5th for Tanner Roark's last appearance against the Fish.
Yeah, his first start of the year, his first win of the year. He went 6 innings, gave up just a couple of runs, struck out 6 fish through 97 pitches. So Tanner, the new look Tanner without the beard tonight, by the way, going to try to keep the ball down. And I'm wondering, based on his last couple of starts, and he's coming off a rough one, if that whole WBC that we got all excited about in spring training has had some sort of effect. There's the new guy. Check him out. No beard. Who is this unmasked man?
Man, who is Justin Nicolino? Well, he's 25 years of age. Hasn't done well against the Nats. He's been on the DL since June 1st, had a left finger contusion and a very high ERA. Washington's hit him hard at times.
Yeah, he pinched his finger against his bat on a bunt attempt. So he went on the DL for 10 days. We'll check him out in a minute. Keeps the ball down, works fast, gets a lot of ground balls.
Well, Trey Turner had a pretty good series in New York over the weekend. Not a ton of hits. He had 4, but he was on base 5 times. Stole 4 bags yesterday. A new team record. They just can't throw him out. And right now, Trey, 26 steals, second in all of baseball. His speed is straight ahead. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By American Standard Heating and Air. Go to MidAtlanticComfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Yeah, no rain delays in Miami anymore. Dusty's Nats 15 over, 10.5 up on the Braves and the Mets. They're 11 up on the Marlins. And game notes for you. Last 4 starts against Miami's been really good. They're an aggressive ball club. They like to swing it. Nats offense have not been shut out this year. We're knocking on the table on this one. Neither have the Twins and the Yankees. And Justin Nicolino, last 7 home starts, not good at all, although his ERA is better. Probably not getting a whole lot of run support. And here come the Nats hitting .275. Tied with the Rockies' highest batting average in baseball. Anthony Rendon wearing out lefties this year. Second in the league to the tune of .405. He's also 9th in the league with runners in scoring position. So against the lefty, Ryan Rayburn gets the start over Bryant Goodwin in left. Everything else in order against the 25-year-old lefty who's 8-11 career.
There's his arsenal. And the shortstop's first name is, you haven't seen him yet, Nats fans, that's JT Riddle. So 2 JTs. The Marlins have all the JTs in Major League Baseball.
JT, that one, replacing Adaney, because Echeverria is out with a left oblique strain. Martin Prado on the DL with a right hamstring problem. They're missing Miguel Rojas with a fractured thumb. So here come the Nats, and Trey Turner hitting .265. 35-year veteran crew chief, one of the great umpires in baseball. Dana DeMuth has the plate. Carlos Torres, first base, 21-year veteran. Paul Nauert at second, and 6th year in the big leagues for Clint Fagan. Third base, here we go. Strike one. We're underway at 7:11 Eastern time. Marlins at home, 16-16, but they won 10 of their last 12. And on the road, the Nats are 24-13 on a 3-1 trip. 1-1. We may have been given a wrong umpire rotation, so we will check it out.
Oh, heaven forbid. So stop the game. Time.
2-1.
Can't believe he threw that pitch. I know Dana DeMuth is at second. I know Paul Nauert's at third, because I know
you know those guys really well. Trey Turner drilling one to right, and short of the track, Giancarlo Stanton. Ball hit extremely well. One out. Rayburn is next.
I'm telling you, we've had this scenario before, whether it was Atlanta in a big series on the weekend with packed crowds, or whether the Nats were in New York on a weekend, and then you come to this place, and it's tough for a player. They won't tell you. They're never going to use this as an excuse. But when you have the atmosphere they just had at Citi Field, and you come here, you have to be, I guess, your own motivator, so to speak. Yeah, it's the big leagues. You want your hits. You want to win, all that stuff. But this place is like playing in a library. It's tough to get up for games.
One ball, one strike to Ryan Rayburn.
They do have Cuban coffee in the clubhouse, however, which is really, really strong.
Put a little jolt in your evening.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do nowadays.
And you probably used to hear that from some guys coming into the Big O in Montreal. You know, that part of it is similar.
No, you're right.
Because you guys had great teams up there.
Always had a good home record because there was no atmosphere, and then we had downtown Montreal. So if there's ever a day game on a Sunday, we got you.
Oh, so you guys all stayed in? Is that what you're saying? That ball is drilled to left, and Ryan Rayburn is 7 for 24. Momentary bobble by Ozuna. So 2 hard hit balls here to start the game.
Well, there goes a no-hitter on a cut fastball from Justin Nicolino. Ryan Rayburn pulls his hands in, barrel the baseball, nice swing. First knock of many, you're thinking tonight.
I'll tell you one thing. Bryce Harper, and here's the umpiring crew. So Carlos Torres, the junior member, is behind the plate. And there's Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, out at second base. He's still in his 35th year. But Bryce Harper got a lot more cheers than boos when he was just announced.
Bryce hitting .302 against lefties this year with 1 home run.
And career against this lefty, 3 for 8 with a walk. Inside the numbers, brought to you by Jeep. So during his career high 11-game hitting streak, just under 330. And the other numbers all adding up as well. Bryce is 8th in the league in extra base hits with 33, and he scored the 3rd most runs. Still hanging in the top 10 in hitting at 318.
And Bryce caught up with his own teammate Sean Burnett today during batting practice. Left field passes for he and his son Sebastian. Came down the field. It was nice to see Sean. He's been throwing every single day. He's thrown for some ball clubs, including the Nats, and telling me he's throwing 88 miles an hour. There's Sean, his brother, and his son on the right, far right. That's Sebastian. He was a good in that. Remember the boring 7th and 8th innings he used to feature? Just the whole home 3 ground balls?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. We miss him. Great guy.
2-1. And that fastball is up in the zone. Bryce has made this park look small at times. And with Ray Byrne moving around at first, a step off by the Miami left-hander.
There's a few guys in this game that have made this park look small. Marcell Ozuna, Giancarlo Stanton, Justin Bour, the guy at the plate, the guy on deck.
Well inside. It's a big yard, and they have brought that crazy thing in from center field to 407. That wall used to be about 19 feet high and about 420 something out there.
Yeah, they lowered the fences.
Get the artwork.
There's the ostriches and the dolphins and the pine trees.
So exotic. 3-2, runner holds. Harper to right. It's staying up, and it is off the wall to third. Rayburn. And Bryce is going to have to go back to first base.
I think it's a home run, Carp. I think it's a homer.
Ball came flying back in. We'll see what it hit. Dana DeMuth says home run. And as Bryce touches second, see you later. 2-0 Washington.
That was a tracer. Yeah, hard to tell. There's this little black strip of wall behind there, and it hit that, came back. So if it hits that, it's a home run. No argument from Don Mattingly. Give me some hit speed on that as soon as you can. This might be harder than the one in New York. Oh, maybe not, as I get told in my ear what it was, so I'll back off. 110 miles an hour. That ball was destroyed.
Number 18 for Bryce, and RBIs number 52 and 53. Here's Zimmerman. Strike one.
Bryce hasn't been hitting on the field lately. He's been staying in the cage. His swing is way more under control. His head's still, and you see the results.
And oh yeah, 12-game hitting streak.
And if you wonder what, hitting the cage versus hitting on the field means, you don't see the flight of the baseball, and you don't get as excited to hit, a ball in the upper deck or see how far he can hit it. And in doing that, sometimes you get a little jumpy, and you get away with that against a coach throwing 50. You get in a controlled environment, a batting cage. You're not seeing where the ball ends up. You're just worried about your mechanics of your swing and feeling the barrel.
Ryan Zimmerman gets jammed a bit. So Bryce Harper now in his career, 22 home runs and 56 RBIs against Miami.
Hit this off his foot and let out a big time yell. I think that was off his ankle, and it obviously missed the brace.
Three points behind Buster Posey now in the batting race. Fastball away.
And you can vote for him for the All-Star team. I think Anthony Rizzo gained a little ground, so if you're bored right now, nothing to do, by your computer, go ahead.
Nationals sent out an alert today that Zimmerman, Murphy, and Harper still lead at their positions. Way inside, 3-2. Ryan has one career hit against Nicolino in 3 at-bats. A homer, 2 RBIs attached. Nicolino just gave up his 3rd homer of the year in just over 13 innings. 3-2, and that ball is hit hard. 4 in a row hit right on the button by the Nats. Riddle takes care of it, 2 down.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be coming off the 10 DL and facing the Nats offense. That's a tough assignment for the best of the best, let alone, you know, a guy that hasn't pitched a whole lot this season.
Daniel Murphy, 377 on the road, highest of any hitter in the National League. 413 his last 19 games overall. Let's check out that all-star voting.
I can't see it.
National League.
Right side is all curly W's, as it should be. Left side might be too, although that Arenado kid's pretty good. Did you see the day he had?
Oh my goodness. A cycle and the homer was a walk-off.
Yeah.
Well, Bryce Harper just crept to within 2 RBIs of Arenado. Goldschmidt, 57 on the year. Jake Lamb of Arizona, 59. So Bryce in there with all the big boys. Swing and a miss. He went off speed on 0-2. Big first inning for the Nationals. Ryan Rayburn, a base hit. He hit that hard. And then Bryce Harper against the lefty destroys one. To the left of the 392, 2-run home.
Ryan Rayburn with the single, Bryce with the tater. StatCast powered by AWS. We'll show you some StatCastification. See the location mistake. It was supposed to be down the way, right into the turbo zone. So it's one thing to have a game plan. It's another thing to execute it. Justin Nicolino didn't. And he paid the ultimate price, 109.9. 18 degrees on the launch angle. That was a low one. Good way to start your night.
Yeah, how about that for a start of a series? And here's Tanner Roark. 5-8 career, 19 games, 13 starts against Miami. The ERA is solid at 3.76. D. Gordon 6 for 16 against him. Anthony Rendon plays shallow. D. Gordon has 5 bunt hits this year.
A fastball 92, slider 86, curveball 76, changeup 83.
Slaps one to left.
So I saw Matt Wieters set up in, and Tanner going right to the run back fastball, the front hit piece we always talk about. And you're wondering, you know, is it going to run back? Look where Wieters is set up. And it did, but it didn't start in, it was up. So when you look at Tanner's last outing, he gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. It was because his fastball was up and had a lot of plate.
Immediate trouble here. Giancarlo batting second for the Marlins these days.
And there's the numbers. 15th start of the year for Tanner. Last start was on the 14th against the Braves. Told you about it. That was a 13-2 Nats loss. Marlins trying to get Giancarlo Stanton more at-bats and doing the left-right thing. That's why he's hitting second.
So those 17 home runs, 8th in the league. D. Gordon started, then stopped. He returned on strike one. Roark with an extended hold before coming home. And after a weekend of double plays, how about that start to this series? The Nats 71st of the year, and they're 8th in their last 4 games.
You're also thinking maybe Don Mattingly wants to get Giancarlo Stanton more fastballs. Hitting behind D. Gordon, that's why he's hitting second. But that was a nice slider by Tanner Roark, cutter slider. Gets the 6-4-3 double play, nicely done. Kept D. Gordon close, got a ground ball.
Nationals in the top 4 in the National League and turning double plays, and Christian Yelich is their number 3 hitter. Rest of the Miami lineup now, it's Yelich followed by Ozuna, hitting .387 in this ballpark. Justin Bour, the JTs around Derek Dietrich. Marlins are 3rd in the league in batting average, just under .270, but they're 9th in runs and 10th in home runs. Christian Yelich on a 9-game hitting streak with 15 hits. Good fastball by Tanner Roark, 2-1.
Tell you what, we've seen some good lineups against the Nats this year. This might be one of the better first 5 hitters we've seen all season long. D. Gordon, Stanton, Yelich, Ozuna, Bour. Yeah. Justin Bour's got 17 home runs, hitting .300. I mean, you got to work to get through this lineup a few times.
Yeah, leadoff guy who has won a batting title. 3 power hitters, and then Christian Yelich, kind of the versatile guy in between, who can hit for some power and run.
Nats defense, you already saw the middle infield. Rayburn, Taylor, Harper. Rendon, Zimmerman on the corners. Matt Wieters behind the plate. And I'm seeing stars.
Two to Yelich. Roark busting a breaking ball down and in on him.
I think it was last year early in the season that Tanner had a few starts in a row against the Marlins. And there was some thought that they knew what was coming, and he went to that whole glove flop thing that he's kind of gotten away from this year, and I'm seeing it more tonight than I've seen it all year. There it is.
2-2. Fastball up the middle, redirect. 1-6-3. Trey Turner ends up in the perfect spot. So 3 ground ball outs for Tanner Roark, and that's a great sign early in his evening.
such a distraction with that thing. There, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in the ballgame. That's brought to you by Miller Lite. Yes, those are pink ostriches. Those are Pinocchio dolphins, and that's a bald eagle right by the sun in that thing out there.
A lot going on out there. Pitch is seen in the outer third of the strike zone, and it seems complicated, but it's quite simple. They pitch Anthony Rendon away as much as they can. And then it's up to those guys who are all good hitters, really good hitters, to take it the other way. In Todd Frazier's case and Anthony Rendon's, they can take it out of the ballpark the other way.
That's weird because that's pitching to his strength.
Let's keep on throwing him out there.
That's probably why he's hitting 286.
321 the last 3.5 weeks. Anthony Rendon's had a great month of June. And as we mentioned in our opening segment, 405 against left-handed pitchers this year. Nolan Arenado 446. So those are the top two guys in the league. Look out, lefties. Rendon, Wieters, and Taylor here, top of the second. Nicolino tried to bring it in from the outside, but it stayed away. 2-1.
15 for 37 against lefties this year. 405 average, 5 home runs.
2 for 4 career against this lefty, and what he's done in his career against Marlins pitching. Rendon jacks one high and deep to left center. See you later. Into the lagoon. 3-0 Nationals.
Another reason why they pitch him away. This is a bomb. I mean, it was high and far. Usually when you hit them over by the artwork, it's got a little lower trajectory. This is straight up. Look at the foot down early, the launch angle. Probably be in the upper 30s if I had to guess. And watch where this one hits. How many texts I'm getting saying those aren't flamingos, those aren't ostriches?
Have people ever listened to FP Santangelo? Come on. I'd say loosen it up.
That is minus Murph strikeout. Everybody's put the ball in play right on the nails.
Yes, sir. Anthony Rendon, 13th of the year, his 66th career home run. He is on his way to a fantastic season.
Vote for Rendon too. Vote for Anthony. While you're not doing anything.
And Wieters reaching on an 0-2 pitch, and D. Gordon has it. First out, second inning. Next up comes Michael A. Taylor, who's a great local story here. Michael A. Westminster Academy up in the Lauderdale area, coached by Rich Hoffman, whose teams won 10 state championships and 2 national titles. And Coach Hoffman has sent 12 players to the major leagues, including Michael, former Nat Matt Dendecker, Doug Minkiewicz, who went on to Florida State and was really good, and a good hacker in the big leagues, and a guy named A-Rod. So Michael A. from Westminster in Lauderdale, and the other 3 guys the same name school from Miami. So you look around Westminster here and pitchers start going, eh. Michael A. 8 for his last 24, a couple of homers and 4 RBIs. The other way. If it's fair, he's got a couple of bags here. He's going to round first and get into second, standing up. Giancarlo was playing way out toward the gap.
Yeah, he's thinking right, though. He's got his hands in the right position. You know, fastball in instead of pulling this foul in the Marlins dugout. Watch him keep his hands close to his body, fight to get the label to the baseball. So good swing path, pull your hands in, and you're rewarded with the double. Nicely done.
3 extra base hits now. And tonight the Nats are 4 for 8.
Who's hitting?
A guy named Tanner.
That's not Tanner.
Who's 3 for 22 this year. Inside.
It's not Tanner Roark.
D. Gordon to move toward the bag, and the step off by Nick Foligno as Michael A. Taylor headed back. Tanner, no RBIs this year, 4 career. And that one out to short right center. Kristen Yelich for the second out.
Joey Votto, Zach Cozart, Drew Storm. Wow, Drew sneaking in with the big boys. Cincinnati Reds coming to Nats Park to get off the first weekend of the summer, June 23rd, 24th, 25th. So check out the start times right in front of you. Get your camera out, take a picture of the screen. Visit nationals.com/tickets today. Drew Storm. Yeah,
I can't wait to see Drew. They got some pop, man. Adam Duvall and Scott Schebler, young slugger. Trey Turner. Hard line drive out to Stanton in right first time up. And Nicolino runs one to the outside half. Trey has 30 RBIs now. Coming off that leadoff homer, 5th of his career in New York on Saturday.
4 stolen bases yesterday. He kind of knew he had a chance if he could steal first based on Travis d'Arnaud not throwing great. Jacob deGrom pretty deliberate to the plate. That was fun to watch.
So 26 stolen bases with our guy, 25 with their guy, D. Gordon. Billy Hamilton has 29. And we'll see him with that Cincinnati ball club. Turner. And that'll be easy going back for D. Gordon. Nats are gone in the second, but Anthony Rendon, one of the big-time monster shots we've seen. That's out near where Worth hit his 200th career last year.
Trying to make adjustments after his last start, and he did so immediately after he left the mound. Went into the film room, broke down some tape, put himself in the first inning side by side with himself in the third inning, and found that he was releasing the baseball too early. Needed to get more extension, hold on to that ball a little bit longer, and get a better release. Talking with Mike Maddox, saying that if he gets that finish, that extension, he should be able to get more movement on his pitches. And more importantly, Maddox says Tanner got the feel for that adjustment in his bullpen. So we'll watch for that tonight, guys.
Well, how do you do that? You slow your delivery down, and his delivery looks much more deliberate to me tonight. It's not as quick. He's not rushing. When you rush, you lose your release point. It kind of trails, and you're up with the fastball. You don't get as much run on your stuff. So even between pitches, everything more under control, a little more deliberate with it all here tonight. I like it. Look how slow. That's way slower than before.
And not that hard hit, a line drive to Trey Turner. 12 pitches, first inning. That double play was sweet for him. So all the outs on the infield so far. By the way, Dan with our Coons.com sideline report, over 2 million vehicles sold in county. Half the crowd sitting right below us here.
Yep, that's 10 people.
Having a good time. Here's Justin Bour, who's hit .377 in May and June. Strike call, 1-1. Tanner Roark getting one down in the zone. So Bour 8th in the league in homers. Tanner got that pitch up a little bit, got away with it, straight back and went.
So many similarities between pitching and hitting. If you're a hitter and your feet are quick and you're jumping out there, your bat's going to trail. You're not going to get good extension. Same thing goes with a pitcher. If you're nice and slow and you keep your head over the mound, you're able to get your arm out in front and get on top of the baseball.
Did you see that radar a minute ago on the fastball? It said 97.
I did.
That looked like a slider. It said 94. Who is this guy? You're right.
Yeah, I got to see that again before I believe it.
That's got to be a little off, you think. Ryan Zimmerman doing a little circle route behind the ball there. One Virginia native turning the other around with a hot shot, 2 down.
This ball smoked, and watch the play. A little self-preservation and a quick glove involved in that one. Nice play.
Next up is their catcher, JT Realmuto. Seven for 21 career against Tanner Roark. Tanner's got a great tempo going. He's only had to pitch off the stretch to 1 hitter so far. And looking for his 49th career win here tonight. 1-0. Everything seems to be crisp. Close. Ball 2.
And that's 95, and he's hit that a number of times tonight. So, wow. But it's effortless. There's not a lot of wasted motion in his delivery.
95 again. The ball exploding out of Tanner Roark's hand tonight. 1, 2, 3. Lots of ground ball outs, and the Nats lead by 3.
low tracer out here. 18-degree launch angle on that. D. Gordon almost caught it. And then Anthony Rendon with the opposite of Bryce's with the launch angle. Straight up the elevator shaft and hit some sort of tropical bird right in the leg.
Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donating $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 homers hit by the Nats this season. And right now there's 108 already. Lexus experience amazing.
Might have mentioned this before, but I'll be collaborating with Lexus on a number of customer appreciation initiatives and charitable efforts over the next few years. They do a lot of great work, just like for the Children's National Hospital. Just one example.
Well done. Top of the third. Rayburn, Harper, Zimmerman. So Justin Nicolino looking in at the do-up saying, oh, here we go again. It's only the third inning and that ball hit hard off of Derek Dietrich, and Ryan Rayburn is 2 for 2 tonight. He's 8 for 25 as a Nat.
You just threw a hit up there that quick? Or did they throw a hit up there that quick? The one hopper hit pretty hard. In between, I give it a hit. You know me, I give everything a hit. I like the mom keeping score for the Little League team. It's 101 miles an hour. Did we have 4 before that?
Yes, and I'm getting nervous. Anyway, here's Harper.
You should.
See, they're probably looking at it 3 different ways in slow-mo right now, and that's not a good thing.
I'm just watching the scoreboard. Tell me what happens. Oop,
ball 1.
I think I see air up there.
Unbelievable. I sit corrected, but maybe not all night. We'll see. Pretty tough air to give your own guy.
Bryce saying stay through it. See that handies? Stay through it. And underneath it. Yeah, like that. See that? That's the Daniel Murphy school of hitting right there. Get underneath the baseball, hit it in the air.
Bryce Harper, 34 extra base hits now.
It's way better than the Tom Amansky school of hitting, I'll say that. With Fred McGriff and the truck driver hat and putting the garbage cans all over the field. Yeah, this is what you're looking at. It's much better.
One and 2 to Bryce. A tapper. Throw to second, and that, my friends, is an error at the major league level. Rayburn was chugging down there. Nicolino got overeager, and 2 on, nobody out.
I'm giving this a hit.
They might.
It's clearly a tough play. Tried to rush it, really. Watch him come off the mound. He's thinking, let me get the lead run. Didn't have the ball in his glove. It was rolling around, couldn't get a grip. So back-to-back errors here in the third. They didn't put it up yet. Who knows? There it is.
Ryan Zimmerman. That's a chance to take a stranglehold on this one early. Ball 1.
Well, this lineup's tough enough when you make all the plays. But when you don't make the plays and you give these guys extra outs, they usually make it hurt big time.
Same location, 2-0. Two RBIs in the New York series. Ryan was 2 for 17 against the Mets. Hit it hard his first time tonight, right at the shortstop. And that's a broken bat. Look out, Derek Dietrich. The bat barrel went flying right at the third baseman. The ball caught by Christian Yelich, 1 out.
I didn't even watch the baseball. I watched Derek Dietrich almost get gored. Watch this. I mean, the bat goes right to him. So he's watching the ball for a second. Then he sees the bat flying right at him. Watch top of your screen. Duck.
Ryan Zimmerman has broken 3 bats in his last 2 games. Here's Daniel Murphy. Nicolino struck him out first time. Taken all the way, counts even.
Daniel Murphy hitting .333 coming into this ball game against lefties. 18 for 54 with a couple of homers.
Lately, he's really elevated his runners in scoring position number. It's up to 397. That's way inside. That's second only to Paul Goldschmidt in the National League. And look at that, 8 for his last 12 to get that number way up there. Danger count, 2-1, 2 men aboard here. Top of the third. Nationals by 3. And that's a rocket to right. Giancarlo can't cut it off. Rayburn scores easily. Harper to third. Bob Henley will hold him. And it's double number 21 for Daniel Murphy, who drives in his 47th run. 4-0.
I mean, folks, it's not this easy. These guys make it look so easy every night. We're so spoiled with watching this lineup on a nightly basis. Hitting a baseball like these guys do consistently is the hardest thing in sports, and every single night the guy you're looking at it makes it look easier than maybe anybody in baseball. 21st double of the year, 345 coming into this game, and that's going to go up as he's 1 for 2.
90th hit. Rendon has been walked, trust me, and it's Matt Wieters next. Bases loaded now. Matt Wieters, right-handed this year, has been very good. Made an out, 0-2 count first time, had him reaching, but right-handed, 10 for 30. Coming in. And a slow bouncer. I was thinking he might come home for 1. That was the only sure out. And Dietrich does it on the 5-2.
Well, you walk Michael Taylor here to get to, well, you can't, sorry, bases loaded. But this is a spot where he's done damage in the past. I mean, he could walk Michael Taylor, but it'd be 5-0.
Okay.
But I like his swing first time up for the one fact that he's keeping his hands inside the baseball. We've been seeing him drive it to right. And why is that a big deal? Why do you get so excited? Well, it makes him stay on the off-speed pitch. He gets a lot of pull conscious at times because he can hit the ball so darn far to the pull side. But the fact that he's getting his hands inside and thinking the other way.
There's a ball into the gap in left center. 2 will score. It's 6-0 Washington. Well, you called it. The other way sets up the pull, and Michael A. has 25 runs batted in this year.
But that's just the first time up, hands inside the baseball. Keep him close to your body, fight it off to right. Same swing right here. He just hits this one up the middle. Watch, they're setting up in. So instead of rolling over to shortstop in a little 6-3 or 6-4 to end the inning, he gets his hands inside the baseball, hits it up the middle, and the second hit of the night for Michael A. Taylor. His approach right now is better than I've ever seen it.
Tanner Roark, the 8th Nat to bat in the inning. 6 runs on 6 hits. Because of the error call on Ryan Rayburn earlier, all these runs will be unearned, but they look good up on the scoreboard. Tanner fly ball to center, first time.
I mean, with Michael A. Taylor's first swing tonight, when he first took over for Adam Eaton, doing a great job, that would have been, you know, pulled into the Marlins dugout for a strike. He fought it off to right for a double. That pitch right there early on would have been a ground ball to short, but he had his hands inside of it and fought it up the middle for a base hit and 2 RBIs. Dusty Baker has to love what Michael A. Taylor is doing, playing every single day. He looks great.
His batting average back over 260 now.
You know, if I'm in pull mode too, Carp, anything off speed away I can't get to because I'm thinking hook one on the park, so it leaves me susceptible to anything away and anything soft away.
6-6-0 Nats, 0-1-2 Marlins. Tanner's pitching well. 0-2 pitch to him. And he'll fight and stay alive here. Season series, by the way, Nats beat the Marlins 2 out of 3, first week of the season at home. So 2.5 months later, we see them for the first time.
There's a lot of teams that wish they wouldn't see the Nats for 2.5 months.
And Roark's going to make Nicolino work even harder. Went to New York, 8.5 up on the Mets, gained 2 games on them. John Mattingly's ball club. A couple of heartbreaking losses at Atlanta. They are home tonight. First of a 10-day home stand. Roark takes it up and in, ball 1.
You know, throughout history in baseball, there's teams that have been built for the marathon, and they can win 110 games, but they're not built for the sprint, which is a 5-game series, what you play in the first round of the playoffs. And I guess the question remains with this organization, are they built for the sprint? Because right now we know they can beat you by a lot in a marathon.
Yeah.
And I think with a few tweaks here or there, and you probably know what I'm talking about, they might be built for the sprint this year for the first time.
Why did take by Tanner Roark?
I mean, the A's historically won 100 games a year, but they couldn't get out of the first round. Why? Well, Billy Beane set that ball club up to beat people for 6 months, but to beat people for 5 days in the first round, it's a whole different story.
Yep. High chopper to third, Dietrich. 8 batters, 3 scored, and after 2.5, Nats are having a great time in South Florida. 2012, courtesy of VW. August 29th of Bryce's rookie year. Gone. That's Jacob Turner then pitching for the Marlins. Nats would win the ball game 8-4, and Bryce wasn't done. Fastball trying to tail away, never made it except to the upper deck. So Bryce went 2 for 5, scored a couple, drove in 3 that night. That was the first of his 12 multi-homer games. He's hit 211 times and 3 once. Career, of course. And here's what he does against the Marlins. So the guy from the desert likes deep sea fishing when it comes to opposing pitchers. His most against any opponent.
Miami Bryce.
Yeah, you dubbed him that fairly early in his career.
That night you just showed I did. That second one almost knocked down the upper deck. You know what's cool when you show all these moments from however many years ago? There's the same core guys in all the highlights. Yeah. There's not too many teams in baseball that can say that.
You saw Vance Worley, who tried to win a job with the Nats in spring training.
Oh, Jason in there, Ryan in there.
Bottom of the third, Derek Dietrich. 1-0 pitch. Dietrich getting a lot of playing time now with Martin Prado hurt. Told you earlier, he's got a right hamstring that's been bugging him. If I remember correctly, that got him right at the end of spring training. Dietrich 4 for 14 career against Tanner. Looks it all the way in. Ball 3. 6 batters, 1 single, 5 ground ball outs. Giancarlo. Yikes, we're down 6. Base hit. Marlins second, and both times it's been a leadoff guy. JT Riddle next.
Forget to get Dad a Father's Day gift? No, you're not a loser. Don't worry, the Nats are extending the savings by slashing ticket fees down to 0 for all remaining games in the 2017 regular season. This limited time offer, which was supposed to end yesterday, hasn't. We tricked you. Nationals.com/tickets and enter code DAD. That's capital D-A-D to pay no fees on Nats tickets.
JT Riddle, 25-year-old rookie from Frankfort, Kentucky. Marlins 13th rounder 4 years ago. Started his big league career 2 for 21. And he's recovered. Look at this. 3rd inning, Ichiro on deck for Justin Nicolino. 1-0 pitch. And that off speed had Riddle way out ahead. Former Mr. Baseball in the state of Kentucky, went to UK and made 0 errors in 121 games started at second base and shortstop. He's their shortstop here in Miami now with Adeiny Echeverria injured. Fastball right side, 2-1.
This will be Ichiro's 2,557th career game when he steps in the box. That's 46 all time.
Yeah, and amazing considering how long he played in Japan before he got here. That's tailing way out of play.
Has 4,327 hits between here and Japan. I guess that would be in the ocean.
Just love watching him hit.
1,278 Japan, 3,049 with the Mariners, Yankees, and Marlins. I mean, you have to talk. It's a legend getting ready to hit in a 6-0 game.
I'm glad the Marlins brought him back after he got his 3,000th here last year. And he's been a pinch hitter extraordinaire for them. 2 balls, 2 strikes to JT Riddle. Kind of peppering the ball the other way to stay in there. Tanner Roark, by the way, first 2 innings, 25 pitches, 17 strikes. Pitch cast from Mercedes-Benz. Nats have turned 1 double play tonight. And this ball skied to left center. Got some carry on it, and Taylor got a piece of it. Ball rolling around the track. Dietrich will score. They'll hold up Riddle at third. He really got around the bases quickly, and for a moment, some Marlins fans thought he might have an inside the park homer.
Did that ball hit Michael Taylor after he dove for it in the face? What an effort by Michael A. Taylor. I mean, great swing by JT Riddle. This ball's pounded the other way. Watch the effort, though, by Michael A. And yeah, it did bounce up and hit him in the face. So slicing away from him, that's the hard part. Look at the ball going back toward Ryan Rayburn. And in traffic with Rayburn approaching, Michael A. Taylor lays out and gets hit right in the face on the hop. So good swing and an amazing effort by the Nats center fielder.
Here's Ichiro. So the Marlins a chance now to take a big bite out of that lead. 2 runs worth if they can chase Riddle home here. This year as a pinch hitter, he's 11 for 41 with 3 RBIs. It's got to be the most pinch hit at bats by anybody in baseball. And his last 11 pinch hitting appearance tries 7 hits with 3 runs batted in. Number 1, of course, of all active players, and Adrian Beltre. He'll make it to 3,000 this year now that he's healthy again. Ichiro will lift one to right. Bryce Harper thinking about a play at home. Riddle will stop and stay, and that's why pitchers back up. Tanner Roark there to grab it. 1 out.
Well, that was just setting up to be fun, wasn't it? Medium fly ball to Bryce Harper, down by 5 runs. Do you test his arm? Do you not? Pretty good throw. Caught Matt Wieters by surprise, I think, the hop. Maybe we could tell you how hard it was. But good backup by Tanner Roark. No harm. Telling me 96 miles an hour on the throw.
Top of the order, contact man D. Gordon. Anthony Rendon on the grass at third. Everybody else back. Slider really diving down and in.
What's the guy you want with the big boy on deck? In a 6-1 game, you don't want Giancarlo Stanton hitting with a few runners on.
Two-oh pitch. Fastball up, ball 3.
96. I mean, when you're throwing that hard, it's tough to get any kind of movement on your pitches. You know, we talk about putting the putt through the break because you hit it too hard. That's almost what you do when you throw 96 and you're trying to run it back. It's hard to run that back.
Got the borderline call to fill the count.
And there's advantages to throw 96. Trust me, it's harder to hit. You get away with a mistake here or there. But when you think of Tanner Roark, you don't think of 96, 97. You think of 92, 93 with pinpoint accuracy, great late movement, and throwing any pitch in any count for a strike.
Ground ball anywhere but the mound is an RBI here. Rendon is backed up. Three-two pitch. Ground ball is short for an RBI. Turner has to hurry. Plays it well. 2 down. It's 6-2. So you face Giancarlo Stanton the way you like it, with nobody on.
Good at bat by D. Gordon, putting it in play.
His 17th batted in this year. Stanton, ground ball to Turner. Became a 6-4-3 double play in the first inning. That ball's gashed. Rendon throws it way wide, and Ryan Zimmerman makes a fantastic play.
He took a turn to second. He should be out.
Ryan Zimmerman tagged Giancarlo in fair territory after he went by the bag. And there's discussion about it.
And Wieters pointed, Roark pointed. What a play by Anthony Rendon, number 1. What a play by Ryan Zimmerman on his belly, number 2. And Stanton took a jab step towards second, I thought, and Ryan tagged him. Like right. No, he's fine. Check all that. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know right there. Maybe not.
You know what? And there's no way he thought Ryan Zimmerman was going to grab that throw. Ryan made an amazing stretch. So Dusty will talk it over with Clint Fagan.
Yeah, I mean, that last angle showed me more than the first. Watch this, right? There, that's, I mean, yeah, he's in fair territory with a motion or a movement towards second base. I don't think that's challengeable. I'll check.
They've given Giancarlo a hit on that. I mean, Anthony Rendon having to throw from an impossible posture there. So he made an amazing play with the glove, and so did Ryan Zimmerman, or else Giancarlo's standing on second base.
I'll tell you what, if Anthony makes a throw from the seat of his pants on about 110 mile an hour one hopper right there, might have got a little whiplash on that dive too. That would have been the play of the year. You could have put that one up there with anything Nolan Arenado's done. That was a tremendous effort by the Nats third baseman. Tremendous.
Four out of 5 Marlins have hit the ball with authority here in the third inning.
That was 113 miles an hour that he just picked out of nowhere.
Two and 0.
And we got to see that again, right? 113 miles an hour. This is our view from up here. In between hop, and the ball squirted loose, and that was the only chance he had. And there was a little jab step towards second there. I guess everybody missed that part.
Two 2-0 pitch, slider to the inside edge. Christian Yelich hit the ball hard first time. Tanner got a piece of it on a hot shot up the middle that redirected to Trey Turner, who threw him out, ending the first inning. Tanner looked over there. Giancarlo took his second jab step of the inning.
Yeah, there's a long way to go in this game. 6-0, 6-2. Marlins don't quit. They have a lineup that comes at you every single inning. There's a lot of baseball to be played in this one. And when you looked at both offenses coming into this, you felt like this is how the series would go. Lots of runs scored on both sides, really. Maybe minus Wednesday with Max going, or Gio too.
Zimmerman backed up. Stanton off and running here. And Yelich fouls another. Payoff pitch again. Walked him. 3-2 slider. Marcell Ozuna now, one of the big home run guys in the National League. Nats Road Ahead, driven by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyFirst.com. Same time tomorrow night. Gio and Edinson Volquez. And then a 12:10 first pitch on Getaway Day. Max goes against Dan Straley. Day off Thursday, and you're looking at the entire Cincinnati series. Gio gets to pitch in the hometown tomorrow night.
So pitch number 31 in the inning coming for Tanner. So all of a sudden this has been a high stress inning out of nowhere.
Yeah, they had the bottom three hitters due up. Marcell Ozuna, 9 for 32 career against Tanner with a homer and 7 RBIs.
Well, you gotta make a pitch right here. This guy can hit him far. You can see the home runs against right-handers, most in the National League. Jay Bruce, Ozuna, and that guy.
Marcell, the only righty on that list. This guy's big and strong. He's been through some trials as a big league hitter. They sent him down to the minor leagues for a while. He's back and he's hitting the ball well. Didn't get a fastball on 2-0. Nissan pitch cast.
Yeah, whatever pitch you make here, just keep it down. And this is a perfect example. Look at the changeup down in the zone below the strike zone. Looked like a strike, had him way out front.
Three and 1. Fastball up. Good slider, 3-2.
It's almost like it's better to get Ozuna into a fastball hitting count and then throw him off speed. I think 2-0 change up to 2-1 and 3-1 slider to get it to 3-2. And now what do you throw him? Same thing?
Fastball.
I think he shook off slider to get to the fastball, if I'm seeing the signs right.
Not a big late in the count damage guy, Ozuna. Good time danger though. Bases loaded. And a big, strong lefty, Justin Bour, coming in.
Well, you go from 6-0 to 6-2 at the tying run at the plate and 2 outs. That's why Mike Maddox is out there. Maybe to tighten up his right-hander, but also to give him a break. Now, this is a 20-second timeout with instruction.
Justin Bour turned Ryan Zimmerman around with a one-hopper back in the second. "38 home runs his first 2 full years in the big leagues and 17 more this season." He's all geared up and he got off speed. Strike one.
They're trying to yank one in the right field bleachers to tie it up, and he went change up away. He'll be thinking the same thing until he gets to 2 strikes. So away plays, whether it's fast or slow.
And he busts the slider down and in.
Or that. Great pitch under the hands. He sees fastball and it disappears. He's telling you he's ready to hit. And a lot of guys get anxious with runners in scoring position, and Justin Bour is playing his hand right now. You don't have to throw him strikes. You still don't have to throw him strikes.
Giancarlo way down the line and at least 10 feet into foul territory, with Anthony Rendon on the shift playing out at short. Giancarlo's right next to his third base coach, Freddie Gonzalez. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Still don't have to throw him a strike. Something that looks like a strike here. But he's worked himself back into a count.
Craziest leadoff from a guy at third I've ever seen.
I'm just sitting here watching that myself. It's like there's 2 third base coaches for the Marlins. Well, now Stanton's going to go back, but he was way down there.
We had him stat casted at way over 20 feet.
It's like in Freddie Gonzalez's back pocket. But I don't know if he can fit in anybody's back pocket.
6-2 game, bottom of the third. Roark working on a
Look at that
inning of about 40 pitches. 2-2. Long ball to right, and this game is tied.
It's almost like you went up there overamped and then got to 2 strikes and relaxed, and that's a changeup with a lot of plate. And Bour knew it as soon as he hit it. His 18th of the year, his 48th RBI, and 110-mile-an-hour grand slam to tie this one up.
Tanner Roark gives up his 11th homer of the year. 9th man to bat in the inning, JT Realmuto. Curveball foul. In the hard to believe department, Justin Nicolino taken out of the game after 3 innings and 6 runs, and he's off the hook before the next Miami pitcher throws a pitch.
I'm telling you, this team can hit. It's not been their problem this year.
0-1. Comebacker. Tanner can't get it. Base hit. And Derek Dietrich, who started all this with a single, will be the 10th batter.
That first bounce in the dirt. Tanner can't get up high enough. Kind of fell off the mound a little bit. Wasn't square, and the line is moving big time for the Marlins here in the third.
Matt Grace is up.
He's loose. This might be a little bit of a stall tactic to get him in the game.
And I know it's a ways away, but if they get a couple more guys on, Ichiro Suzuki would bat again in this inning. He's still the hitter of record. And here comes Dusty. Unbelievable. Justin Nicolino goes 3 innings. The Nats get him out. And Tanner Roark will be done after 2 2/3. 5 hits, 2 walks in the inning. And this is our UPS store call to the bullpen. She's expert printing. The UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing we can't solve.
It's Youth Baseball and Softball Day presented by Innova. The special ticket players can participate on the field with a parade. Kids 12 and under can also receive a plastic ball and bat set. Visit nationals.com/special tickets.
Well, everybody a little shocked right now on the first base side, and in the booth upstairs a little toward the first base side as Matt Grace comes in. 10th appearance. He's been with the Nats now 5 different times this year. Grace against Dietrich. Derek is 0 for 2 career against him. And a throw over with Real Muto, a catcher who can run very well, not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think you're shocked about the 6-run third, but you know, we've been talking about it all night that Tanner Roark's not a 95 to 97 guy. And maybe he just went too hard too fast. You know, I guess you can't help it as a pitcher. It's like your bat feels light as a hitter, right? The ball feels light, it's coming out. But I think he's at his best when he's 90, 92, occasional 94. And all that movement all over the place and keeps you guessing. He'll figure it out.
Breaking ball, that's a swing and a miss. And the ball gets away from Matt Wieters. Scoring position for Real Muto.
Yeah, fastball, slider, 2 pitches. This is a slider, and it looked like it crossed Wieters up. He went to catch that to the backhand like a fastball and turned his glove over at the last second. don't know how he crossed the guy up with the runner on first, but it appeared to be the case.
Oh, 1. And with the runner going toward third, this ball has hit a ton. Taylor back to grab it. Michael A. Taylor keeps the Marlins from taking the lead.
What a play. I mean, he made about 3 adjustments here. He had his back to home plate. He turns around the last second, fully extended, on the run with the wall approaching to keep this a 6-6 game. My goodness. For Michael A. Taylor to keep this a tie game. Look at the route he took. He initially broke to his left, then turned his back to home plate. I mean, these are drills you do in spring training where you turn your back to the baseball, the coach throws it to you, you roll your head, you find it a lot like a wide receiver. What a play by Michael A. Taylor. And this game got really interesting in a hurry.
Nats lose a 6-run lead for the first time since September of 15. It was against the Mets, a week we will try to forget. And to the top of the 4th now, top of the order, Vance Worley was with the Nationals in spring training. He was released on March 29th, and the Marlins signed him as a free agent April 2nd. This will be Vance Worley's 6th appearance. He's made 4 starts for Miami. 20 hits in 17 innings, 11 Ks, 6 walks, and Trey Turner strike 1. He's 1-for-1 career against the 29-year-old right-hander. Trey 0-for-2, line drive to right, and a pop-up to second. Base hit to right.
It's a good old-fashioned slugfest, ladies and gentlemen. And let the games begin at first base. Nice piece of hitting. Front side close. Ground ball the other way. Leadoff single. Nats trying to answer the 6th spot. Trey Turner trying to steal base number 27 on the year.
Battle of the bullpens from the 4th inning on tonight. And really from 2 outs in the 3rd for the Nats. So here's Ryan Rayburn. And they did change his batted ball back to a hit in the 3rd inning.
Good. Because everybody else has hits. He's thinking about it. Didn't get a best jump. Shut it down. Trey Turner. Watch him try to get the rhythm into the delivery by Worley. Just kind of rocks back and forth. Make that last rock be towards second.
And a double play ball. momentary glitch for Riddle, but they had plenty of time to turn the 6-4-3. Two down, and Bryce Harper coming up. A homer and a bouncing ball back to the pitcher, with which Justin Nicolino had a lot of trouble, and it led to the Nats scoring 3 times in the third. Bryce 2 for 9 career against Worley with a base on balls.
He's shocked if this is anything middle in. Oh, he's going in there. All right.
Two and one. Great stroke the other way. That ball takes off on Ozuna, but he grabs it. And the Nats, 3 batters in the fourth. The double play was big for the Marlins, and we are tied up. Brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Still early at South Beach. Still early at Marlins Park, and it's 6-6.
There's Ryan. He's hanging out, having a little sip of something before he goes to first.
So Matt Grace back to work. JT Riddle expecting Vance Worley to come out and hit. He will. First pitch swinging. Riddle's triple, the hit that really opened up that third inning for them. Dietrich gets singled. He tripled him home. Scored on a Gordon ground ball. Jacob Turner, former Marlin, warming up for the Nats. Of course, once Jacob gets into the game, he can go several innings. So we'll see how Dusty plays in here. 8, 9, and 1 here in the fourth.
How different would that third have been if they would have called Giancarlo Stanton out at first?
That would have been the third out. Pretty good fastball running into the hands of the lefty, and Rendon is there. He's got it. Anthony went down under after wrenching that neck a bit on that diving play, and goodness, he's back out to play defense in the fourth.
So the home run derby coming up in this ballpark in a few weeks, and I'm kind of interested to see where baseballs are going to fly out of here. You see these windows over here? These open, and I'm wondering if somebody hits them out of the stadium. The upper deck in right center, that Marlins Park sign, I think, is in play with some of the bigger guys. But with Stanton and Judge, it should be interesting to see.
Murphy retreats, pitcher running, so he's got plenty of time. Vance Worley on the grounder, 2 outs. Lefty now with Matt Grace and D. Gordon.
And BP today, the ball was flying out of here, so.
Yeah. And of course, those slightly livelier balls they use for the home run derby. Look out, folks.
I don't know if they could be more lively than the ones that have been used all season, but we'll see.
If they are.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That's my favorite part of it. I don't know if Bryce is going to be in it.
D. Gordon 1 for 2, base hit, RBI grounder.
Would he be in it? Because he hits some far in BP.
He does.
Real far.
Yeah, Ryan takes as good a BP as about anybody in baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mark Reynolds, if he makes the team, could be a sleeper. He puts on a crazy batting practice display. Maybe the best in baseball.
He bunts. Grace. And that for D. Gordon is his 6th bunt base hit of the year. That's big because Giancarlo's batting behind him. And we'll see if Dusty calls on Jacob Turner here.
Well, there's 2 ways you can go this right-on-right matchup, and you should look at a perfect bunt by D. Gordon. Or you can have the lefty keep D. Gordon close at first. So what do you want to do here if you're Dusty Baker?
Well, you can walk him and go lefty-lefty, although you're advancing somebody in the scoring position. Not very likely.
Yeah, you're not putting the go-ahead run in scoring position for free.
Dusty's going to stick with Matt Grace here. Stanton has never faced him. Now D. Gordon steals second. Kind of figure for the Marlins, why would they?
Tie game, 4th inning, flags up, man. You steal second, go. You get a read on Grace, why not?
Two great leadoff speedsters in this series. .91 in there with the fastball.
I saw Dusty and Mike Maddox having a long discussion about what they wanted to do right here, right now. Right on right or leave left on right and keep Gordon close. A lot of managers would choose to get the hitter out with right on right. A lot of managers would choose to keep the above average runner, one of the better base stealers in the National League, close with the lefty, and Dusty going with the lefty.
Runner going, swing and a miss. That throw cleanly into center field. That'll be Matt Wieder's second error of the season. They gave him one in New York yesterday for that crazy play at home.
Yeah, there's no need to throw this. I mean, I know he's trying hard, but that ball just squirts out because he's rushing. D. Gordon had that base stolen, and it was off of Matt Grace. He's scoring on a single anyways from second base, so that's not a huge error with 2 outs, especially with 2 strikes on the hitter.
1-2.
Trying to force a balk down there at third. Did you see that?
He came charging down.
Trying to get the pitcher to panic and balk for a run.
And a tapper. Matt Grace has it. An anxious moment, but he'll pitch a scoreless 4th inning. Ryan Zimmerman, Daniel Murphy, Anthony Rendon ahead. Six-8 won that. 6-7 won Marlins. 4-5-6 for the Nationals, top of the 5th inning. Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 2. Murphy has an RBI double. Rendon's been on a couple of times, and Stephen Drew's putting a bat helmet on might indicate that Anthony Rendon is not going to answer the bell here in the 5th inning. He got jarred on that diving, amazing play.
Yeah, we showed him kind of grabbing his neck. You can get whiplash when you dive like that. You can also get a concussion, believe it or not, diving like that from the whiplash. So we hope he's okay.
Zimmerman 1 for 5 career against Vance Worley, and that's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Worley 8 pitches, 6 strikes to get that scoreless 4th inning after Turner led off with a hit. The double play was big. The other way, and is it rolling quickly enough? It is. Ryan Zimmerman, first base hit tonight.
So here's the play we're talking about. 113-mile-an-hour 2-hopper into a dive from the seat of his pants, and Ryan dove for it. Giancarlo kind of had a turn. And we had a shot of him getting up, rubbing his neck. And if you've ever dove for a baseball before, you know the feeling. When it's really going to hurt is tomorrow morning when he wakes up. He might not even be able to turn his head.
So Drew on deck for Rendon. Daniel Murphy 12 for 21 career against Vance Worley. Strike 1. We hope to find out something about Anthony Rendon right after the game. Inside the numbers, brought to you by Jeep. On Daniel Murphy. Look at this amazing consistency from last year to this year. Unbelievable how close everything is. Batting average down a bit. RBIs are up.
Tracking. He might have to beat out his own first baseman for the award this year.
Had 184 hits last year, 56 multi-hit games, 47 doubles. Hit 347, drove in 104. And not to mention 25 home runs. 1-2 now against Worley. That ball skips in and Real Muto picks it cleanly.
I mean, who is the best player in the National League? Getting toward the halfway point. Is it Bryce Harper? Is it Daniel Murphy? Is it Nolan Arenado? Is it Ryan Zimmerman?
Since you said player, not hitter, to me it would be between Bryce and Arenado. Hitter, our guys, all of them are right up there.
Yeah, the best player in the National League. Not necessarily the MVP right now, but who's the best player in the National League?
Yeah, it's a great question. Good debate.
It'd be hard to argue with the guy you're looking at.
Tonight's game number 70, so any of this year sort of thing, very legit because there's a track record going now.
Guy in the batter's box is no slouch.
2-2, up and away, and Murphy strikes out for the second time tonight, which hardly ever happens. It's only 29 times all year. Here's Mercedes. Here's Stephen Drew. First of all, Drew 1 for 4 career against Vance Worley. 4 for 10 with an RBI as a pinch hitter. And of course, this pinch hit appearance will have a defensive assignment attached to it. Good rip. Worley throwing strikes. 87 on the slide piece. 0-2.
Figured it worked against Daniel Murphy. Try the high fastball again with 2 strikes. Fish ain't biting.
Oh, that's a great swing the other way. Ball slicing fair into the corner. Zimmerman to third. Bob Henley's going to send him. It took Ozuna a while to get there. Ryan scores, and Stephen Drew puts the Nationals on top.
You could talk about the best players in the National League, but how many teams have the depth the Nationals have? When you lose an Anthony Rendon to some sort of neck deal and you can go to the bench and have this guy come in? A proven major leaguer that shows he knows how to hit off the bench whenever he's called upon, whether it's a pinch hit, comes in the middle of a game, or starts a game. Stephen Drew is a luxury to have on your bench, and you see why. You had a feeling that this one there's going to be a lot more offense. But what an at-bat by Stephen Drew to make it 7-6 Nats in the 5th.
9th RBI on his 3rd double of the year. Scoring position, 1 out. Here's Matt Wieters. And Drew back as JT Riddle tried to sneak in there. Dana DeMuth waited to make sure Drew stayed on the bag as Riddle kept the tag on. That'll shorten the lead because Riddle's right behind him.
Well, he's not stealing 3rd. I think he's just looking for an out. Other than the one at the plate that they're trying for.
Matt Wieters against Worley, 1 for 7 career with a home run, a walk, 2 RBIs. 2 guys on the left side of the infield, but D. Gordon is in right field on at least a right side shift. Big night, lumber and leather, Michael A. Taylor. Not to be forgotten, his play at the end of the 3rd that kept Miami from taking the lead. 1-2, and Wieters somehow getting his hands on the bat to that low inside pitch. Into the 9 o'clock hour here. Ball game started at 7:11. 6 runs early for the Nats and then a 6-run 3rd for the Marlins. Zimmerman and Drew have put Washington back on top here. Two. Swing and a miss on a pitch tailing away. 2nd K in the inning for Worley.
How about some Geico highlights? Michael A. Taylor having a nice night here in South Florida. Double his 1st time up. Single and a couple RBIs his 2nd time up. And then this play with a tremendous adjustment and route correction going toward the fence, fully extended. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
I got to pitch to him here because Adam Lynn's on deck. And that one for Giancarlo Stanton. Nationals pick up a go-ahead run. Stephen Drew's in the game, and we've already felt his presence.
7-6 as we go. Moving along rapidly in this ball game. Crush home runs and dominate in your very own Derby competition. The official MLB.com home run derby game on the App Store and Google Play. Swing for the fences, baby. Against more than 10 million players from around the world is your favorite Derby All-Star. Download Home Run Derby for free today. Hopefully somebody will knock that thing down in the Home Run Derby and we won't ever have to look at it again.
New third baseman, Stephen Drew. Yelich, Ozuna, and Bohr. Matt Gray so far. An inning and a third on 14 pitches, 11 strikes. He's got two lefties here with Ozuna in between. And a check swing foul. It'd be an ideal situation for Dusty if Matt can get through this fifth inning unscathed. He had Lind on deck to hit in the pitcher's spot, and then he could use Adam or Brian Goodwin in a leadoff spot next inning. We'll see how it all shakes out here, but it depends on Matt Grace against the Marlins' heart of the order here. 1-1 pitch. Oh, he hit him. Christian Yelich hit for the 5th time this year.
That's not ideal when you just put up a number to take the lead. Right in the tricep area. Derek Dietrich has been hit 10 times this year. D. Gordon 7. Now Christian Yelich 5.
Here's Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna 1-for-1 career against Matt Grace.
I'll tell you what, Christian Yelich is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Very humble individual for being such a good big league baseball player. I don't even know if he shaved yet. You think he shaves? Maybe.
Occasionally.
It's like a sophomore in high school. I mean, he plays like a major league all-star. But seriously, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Guy you root for when you're not playing against him.
Up the middle, base hit. Yelich, great speed over to third. Taylor will go after him, and safe is the call from Paul Nauert. Right at the bag, in great position to make that call.
Right back up the middle. No chance for Daniel Murphy, and then good base running by Yelich. What do we got at third? That was pretty close, by the way. I think the Nats are taking a look down in the dugout in the clubhouse. Did Stephen Drew get that tag on him while his left foot popped off the base? Watch the left foot come off the base here. So maybe he initially beats it, but watch this right there. He might be out. It's the right foot, excuse me. It pops off before the left knee reaches. Watch right there. He might be out.
Nats will challenge.
I think he's out. You saw it live. Don Mattingly's arguing about something right now. Don Mattingly's saying he pushed his leg off the base, maybe. That's the argument here. That's the only thing he could be saying. There you go, watch this. Now, if he pushes his foot off or his leg, I think he's simply making a tag. Does he lift it off of there? Because he's out right there. And that's what Mattingly's arguing right now. Before they even look at the replay, they're already looking at it in New York, trust me. They probably already decided this should be quick.
Paul Nauert on your right made the call. Crew chief on your left, Dana Demuth. Cardinals fans reacted to the replay, but they reacted to his foot hitting the bag, and then they got real quiet as that replay continued to roll.
I think Don Mattingly heard what he wanted to hear from Carlos Torres, meaning they'll tell us in New York if they think that Stephen Drew lifted his leg off the base. And then that was all Don needed to hear. I don't think that has to be determined here on the field. They can do all that in Chelsea. And here we go, survey says.
Runner is out, outfield assist for Michael A. Taylor.
Mattingly's going to get tossed, I think. And Stephen Drew, out of nowhere, is the MVP of this baseball game. Out of nowhere. He picked that and tagged all in one motion. That wasn't easy. That ball was hopping from Michael A. Taylor. Look at the short hop into his glove. 2 hands, by the way, for all you youngsters at home. Then slaps the tag on him as his foot comes off. So instead of first and third, nobody out in the 1-run game, it's runner on first, 1 out because of the great tag and throw by the Nationals defense. How about that?
Justin Bour is the hitter. Bouncing ball right side. Murphy charges. High risk throw to short, and he gets it done on a 4-6. Daniel Murphy walking the high rope right there.
That was awesome. That might be better than tag play. Doesn't have to be pretty, folks. Watch this play by Daniel Murphy. He comes flying in on an in-between hop, a little Olay bullfighter, and then you're thinking, okay, just flip it to Zim. You made the hard part. Then he decides to spin, throw blindly to Trey Turner at second for the routine, as routine as they get, force out. Look at that play by Murph. There was a whole lot going on right there. And you don't need style points, baby. Just make the play, and he did.
Fielder's choice, and quite a choice it was.
That play was a fire drill.
JT Realmuto fouling one into the seats. They have no screens here, and these dugouts and these seats are as close to the action as any place in baseball. I think that ball hit an empty seat.
That'd be shocking.
No balls, 2 strikes to Realmuto, who's 1 for 2 with a single.
Some action in this inning on defense, huh?
And then Matt Grace looked back to check his landing area as that fastball went flying by Matt Wieters.
Well, that's a big 90 feet in a 1-run ball game.
Wild pitch. Hit batter, a base hit, a wild pitch, and nothing on the board yet for the Marlins. The count's 1-2 to Realmuto. He'll lift a high fly ball to deep right center. Harper tracking it. So Matt Grace gets the Nationals 7 very important outs in a crazy ball game.
Marlins Park. A lot of fans back home probably wondering what's the latest with Jason Worth, who's been out 2 weeks now since fouling that ball off his left foot. Worth was not with the Nationals in New York over the weekend. Dusty Baker said that the team hoped that he would join them here in Miami, but he's still back in D.C. right now receiving treatment. He's not doing any baseball activities just yet, doing some work in the pool, some core work, Dusty says, to try and stay in shape. Dusty saying the Nats will have a better idea of kind of where Jason's at progress-wise when the team gets back home. He is making progress, but not closing in just yet on a rehab assignment, guys. Those foot injuries, as FP is well aware, I'm sure, can take a little bit of a while to get over. Jason Worth making progress, but still not getting close quite yet to getting back on the field.
Thanks, Dan, with a Coons.com sideline report. Joe Ross is the pinch hitter. The last inning was somebody on base. Dusty was looking for a big hit, had the inning continued. He had Adam Lind on deck, but he's going to save him and Goodwin for later. And here's Joe against Vance Worley. And he lashes one down the left field side. Joe's a good athlete. He's going to round the bag. Up with it, Ozuna. Stand-up pinch double for Joe Ross. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting, and base number 2 for Joe Ross.
Hey, what a weapon to have if you're Dusty Baker and you don't want to go deeper on your bench. Derek Dietrich can't jump high enough for the Joe Ross line drive, so a leadoff double here in the 6th. And Don Mattingly's coming out to make a change.
Joe Ross 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter. How many wheels have turned already, and how many more to turn in this one tonight? Top of the 6th, Arlene Garcia for the Marlins in a 7-6 game. Nats on top. Brought to you by the Lexus RX, featuring a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection standard. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com.
That's a hotel right there. I think it's a nice one. South Beach. There's a Clevelander, the real Clevelander. It's all just so touristy down there now. It really is.
Trey Turner with a man aboard. First time the Nats see Harleen Garcia, 24-year-old lefty from Santo Domingo. And for the Marlins, the rookie has appeared in 29 games this year. 22 innings, 16 hits.
Last 5 appearances, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Inning against Pittsburgh on the 10th, inning against Oakland on the 13th, 2/3, 2/3, and 1/3.
Trey Turner was not bunting. Justin Bour was really charging. This one to short center for Christian Yelich. First out, top 6. Oliver Perez for the Nats. Derek Dietrich, JT Riddle. Probably a pinch hitter for the Fish in the bottom of the 6th. Good job by Matt Grace. A couple of stumbles along the way, but he gets 7 outs, 2 hits, no runs. Didn't walk anybody, no strikeouts. Hit a batter, threw a wild pitch, but 20 of his 27 pitches were strikes. And the Nats got a call on a great throw from Michael A. Taylor and a great tag by Stephen Drew.
Oh, remember the play over his shoulder that Michael A. made, the throw to third. So those two definitely the sneaky MVPs of this game. That guy and Stephen Drew.
There's Ryan Rayburn has had a good night. 3 sharply hit balls. Last one was right at the shortstop for a double play in the 4th. He had quite a rip. No balls, 2 strikes. .308 batting average with his new ball club. Become an important guy against left-handed pitching with Jason Worth, as Dan said, not available.
Yeah, Harleen Garcia, fastball slider change, fastball 94, slider 83, change 87. Those are all average speeds.
Rayburn takes it upstairs. Put him in there, he'll get a hit. That throw almost into center field. D. Gordon, quite a reach.
Trying to catch Joe Ross napping. He got back in plenty of time. It's a nice play by D. Gordon. You got a runner on third, 1 out if that goes to center field, because you see JT Riddle, he couldn't get back there quick enough. He didn't know the pickoff play was on.
Nationals box score. 2-run homer, Bryce Harper first inning after a Rayburn hit. Solo leadoff by Rendon in the 2nd. Murphy RBI doubled in the 3rd. Michael A. Taylor later that inning, a 2-run single, huge. And then Stephen Drew delivers off the bench, pinch hit double last inning. 7 runs on 11 hits. Two. Rayburn fights it off, but D. Gordon's going to catch up with it. 2 down. For the achiever in you, PNC Bank. And when you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Check in on Ronald Pena. So the Northern Division All-Star team now for the Potomac National. 13 Ks in his last 10 2/3. Bringing it.
Forgot the tilde. I got you though.
Bryce 1 for 3 tonight. He's hit the ball hard twice. Obviously the laser homer off the right center field wall, the black part of it that's home run territory in the first. And then a hard hit line drive to Ozuna in left last time up. Out there again, 2-0. Chance of Let's Go Harper in the building on a foul ball just to our left.
That was close. Maybe there's a lot of new Nats fans in West Palm Beach that drove down.
That's a good call. Bryce will pull it right side for D. Gordon. That's got a leadoff double by Joe Rawson. He never made it beyond second base. One-run game, 7-6 Washington.
Ballpark 7-6 as we go to the bottom of the sixth. In case you missed it, Anthony Rendon made a spectacular play on Giancarlo Stanton. I think it was in the third inning after he hit this monster tater into the lagoon, as Bob accurately called it. So this is the play that got him out of the game. We're thinking a little whiplash, but a beautiful stop, and then the ball kind of squirts out of his glove and he goes to the bare hand, grabs that thing as it's rolling, from the seat of his pants almost throws Stanton out. So beautiful effort by Rendon. We just hope he's okay. Probably be sore tomorrow though. Those things have a tendency to tighten up.
Marlins box score, pretty much everything jammed into that crazy 6-run third inning. The big blow, of course, the Justin Bour game-tying grand slam. JT Riddle, the rookie, an RBI triple before that. Their leadoff guy has 2 hits. Ours has 1. And here's Oliver Perez for the Nats with his 23rd appearance. 13 hits in 14 innings. 18 K, 14 walks. Curveball outside to Derek Dietrich, who is 0 for 7 career against him. Good hook, 1-1.
Well, I already told you Dietrich's been hit 10 times this year, so left on left, it's important to keep the ball away from him. One-run game, he is not moving. He's been known to lean into pitches that are near strikes.
64 times in his career, the most by a Marlin ever. 2-1.
Just can't believe anybody would ever do that.
From somebody who did. How many?
Like 25 in 1 year.
Total? Career?
I don't know. I don't know that. It's a lot. I feel it every day. I don't know it.
Dietrich, I tell you, this guy's a tough out. He's got 2 hits. Is he going to try Taylor? Is he going to try Taylor? He shouldn't have. And he's out at second. Michael A. Taylor, 2 assists tonight.
Put on a show, Michael Taylor. I mean, doing it in front of the home fans and the home folks and everybody here at Marlins Park. Unbelievable throw into a spin. So he made the running catch, which kept it a tie game, and it would have been 7-6 with the runner on second. He threw out Christian Yelich, who was trying to go first to third with a great tag by Stephen Drew. Now in a one-run game, Nats up by 1. He does this to throw out Derek Dietrich, trying to stretch a single into a double. Don't run on Michael A. Taylor. That was awesome. I mean, this is what we heard about Michael A. Taylor when he was in the system coming up. The guy can really play center field. He can go get him. He's got a great arm. He can hit for average. He can hit for power. He'll strike out a little bit. But we're starting to see the real Michael A. Taylor, and it is really fun to watch. Really fun.
Bryce Harper, co-leader in the league with 6. Taylor on the charge. Brian Goodwin, by the way, has 3 outfield assists for the Nats. There's a hook, and it's fouled back by J.T. Riddle.
I mean, but that's clutch. You're talking about one-run game. Riddle button him over. Runner on third. 1 out. Yeah, that was big. Just like the other play with Yelich. That was big too.
This one tailing into foul ground down the left field side, and Rayburn, a great effort. Not able to get it there, and the guard down there left his stool, which is dangerous. They are trained to pick those up and get out of dodge, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, and the ball boy is telling him right now, hey, get your chair out of the way. Never leave your stool laying around. Someone could get hurt.
Oh-2. Got him. Front door curveball. Carlos Torres thought about it for a second. 2 down. Nissan will try to track this frisbee.
It might have hit the edge, but it did look like a strike initially. I like that Matt Wieters left it there for Carlos Torres to see. JT Riddle can't believe it. And just like that, there's 2 outs in the 6th.
Christian Colon was DFA'd by the Royals on May 10th. Marlins signed him on waivers on the 16th. He's 3 for 17 in Kansas City. He goes up hacking here, and that ball is fouled into the corner. Colon 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter for Miami. Looks like Dustin McGowan is next for the Marlins, with Zimmerman, Murphy, and Drew coming up. Fastball up and away, 1-1. just the right call.
Double pump, turn your back, sidearm, backdoor frisbee. Tried it.
Base is empty, 2 outs here in the 6th, and a 2-2. Fastball, a beauty. For the bullpen tonight, so far, so good. To the 7th we go. It's enough to make you want to kiss a baby. That's lead 7-6.
Kissing people. It's hard to see, right? We were going to break. We didn't know what was going on, but a little argument ensued after strike 3. I thought it was a strike. Of course I did. But watch what happens here. Cologne not happy with the call. Didn't look like he said much. Just kind of turns back and you're gone. You knew, right? So if Don Mattingly wanted to keep him in the game with his short bench, he can.
Yeah, that's big. Could be big in a game like this. All he has left is former Nat Tyler Moore and then backup catcher A.J. Ellis. All these teams with 8-man bullpens are a man short in the dugout, and the Nats and the Marlins both subscribing to that. Freight Rail works with our do-up here, top 7, and what they've done against the Marlins this season. So Zimmerman, Murphy, and now Stephen Drew have all done good things against Miami pitching. 35-year-old Dustin McGowan will take over. 25th game.
Fastball, slider change. Fastball 93, slider 86, change 87.
Zimmerman 1 for 5 against him. And to the left of the shortstop, J.T. Riddle, very nicely played.
Some Marlins coaches were telling me how sweet J.T. Riddle is at shortstop before the ball game during batting practice. Here's a good example. Goes into a little slide, spin move, plenty of time, strong throw, right on the money. Good looking young player.
Yeah. And if you missed it earlier, I mentioned, you know, and it's college ball, but how often do you hear about a guy's defense?
Yeah.
121 games started for Kentucky at second base and shortstop. In his career, 0 errors. There's Murphy.
Marlins could have a Wally Pipp situation going on with Danny Echeverria. This kid can play.
And he's hitting in the 260s. J.T. Riddle, 25 years of age, from Frankfort, Kentucky, the capital of Kentucky.
Capital of Kentucky, Louisville or Louisville?
It's pronounced Frankfurt.
Couldn't get you on that one a few years ago. You're the first guy that ever got that.
That would take somebody like me. Knucklehead who loves geography. 2-0 to Murph, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Down and in. Now McGowan has to deal with 3 left-handed batters in a row: Murphy, Drew, and the switch hitter Wieters. Daniel all geared up to try to make it 8-6 on a 3-0 pitch. Lifting one to right, Stanton. 2 outs in the 7th.
Sit on the Iron Throne and rule the 7 Kingdoms on Game of Thrones night, Friday, June 23rd. Nats host the Reds. Yes, the throne will be at the ballpark, plus the first 20,000 fans receive the t-shirt you're looking at right now. Visit nationals.com/tickets to sit on the throne. They'll be sitting on the throne.
Rocking the red tonight. There's Stephen Drew. Is it going to drop? He's got another base hit, and both the opposite way. Stephen Drew, professional ball player for the Washington Nationals. 2 for 2 tonight.
We said it before he even got his first hit. What a luxury for Dusty Baker to have this guy come off the bench, and he's doing it all tonight. So Anthony Rendon, home run, walk. Stephen Drew enters the game double, single, sweet tag at third. Depth.
And let's face it, most teams in baseball, their bullpens are right-handed heavy. Your average team has 1, maybe 2 lefties in the bullpen. And we've got Brian Goodwin, contact, pop, speed guy. Then you have Drew, and then you have the power of Adam Lind. This bench is amazing against right-handed pitching when you get late in the ballgame. And in this case tonight, Drew into the game in the 5th inning. Matt Wieters 0 for 3. And a bouncer, right side. That's it for Washington in the top of the 7th. Both bullpens pretty solid tonight in a 1-run game. Fans settling back in here in Miami. Oliver Perez, 15 pitches, 11 strikes. In that 2 strikeout, 1 hit given up, 6th inning, but Michael A got it off to a great start by throwing out Dietrich. So here's a big inning for the Nats bullpen. Gordon, Stanton, and Yelich, top of the order for Miami. The Nats have had at least 1 hit in every inning tonight, and the Marlins have had hits in 5 of their 6 innings. Could it be Turner for Stanton, or maybe later Ozuna? Jacob up for the 2nd time tonight. Perez keeps getting ahead of hitters.
Marlins are not liking Carlos Torres' strike zone all of a sudden.
Front door curveball. And Gordon reaching for one, but the Nats had him played toward the gap, and Taylor hasn't.
That is a huge out in a 1-run game. And now Dusty Baker going to get the right-hander in the bullpen. So once again, nice job, Oli Perez.
That's a big-time job. 4 outs after Grace got 7. 7-6 Washington.
In a 1-run baseball game, bottom of the 7th inning. Washington area toilet dealers help children and their families by making a $37 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
Former Marlin and another ball club, the Tigers, of course, and the Cubs and the White Sox. It's Jacob Turner, 26-year-old righty for the Nats. And for Turner, his 16th appearance, he's made a couple of starts. 35 hits in 34 innings. 19 strikeouts, but 12 walks. So he's got a big-time matchup here as he faces Giancarlo Stanton for the first time. Until the Nats can add on every pitch the rest of the way. Huge in this game.
Cool. Every time he swings, you hold your breath, and when he gets extended, you really hold your breath because he can hit the ball straight away or to right field. The Nats have had a lot of success with Stanton with a 2-seam fastball mid-90s in off the plate. He likes the ball out away from him. That was perfect.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
98.
Mercedes-Benz. doubt about it. Carlos Torres in pitcher's zone tonight. After all the craziness, first 3 innings, that's the only run in the middle innings. That tally in the top of the 5th. 2-2 with 1 out. Giancarlo deep to right, and that's why every pitch is crucial in a game that close. It's now tied.
You can't let him get extended. He has so much pop to all fields. And he's thinking one thing in a 1-run ball game, and he just did it. Everything away, that was away too. They wanted to go in there, he just yanked the fastball. The Leaders had the right game plan. It was finish him off inside, don't let him get extended to do that. 7s are wild.
There's Christian Yelich. He gets an 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball. He faces Turner for the first time. Jacob Turner has given up his 7th home run. 36th by the bullpen. Grayson Perez, pardon me, very good in their 3 2/3, and now Jacob has to keep this thing tied. For Giancarlo, number 18, his 46th RBI. Target in. Counts even 2-2. Yelich hit once tonight. Was getting out of there. Kyle Bearclaw. You can bring it. Way outside.
I mean, this has been the bullpen this year, and I have to be honest, it's been walks and homers. I mean, for the most part since opening day, and it's driving Dusty Baker crazy. It has to. You know, in a 1-run game, power hitter, tried to make a good pitch. He didn't want to throw that down the middle, trust me. But then you can't back it up with a walk. You can't. He knows it. I wasn't trying to walk him, but this is how it's been going.
Marcell Ozuna 1-for-1 career against Turner. Hot shot. Trey Turner. Murphy, 6-4-3. The Nats' second double play of the night. Stanton ties it, but defense and a good pitch, by the way, keep it from getting away.
Buy Miller Lite. Let's check out Michael A. Taylor's amazing game defensively. This is a 6-6 ball game, 2 outs, runner on second. So that gets over his head. It's 7-6 with maybe a runner on third. So beautiful play by Taylor. And then this one would have been first and third, nobody out in a tie ball game. Turned into just runner on first, 1 out after they checked it. Great tag by Stephen Drew. And then this, in a 1-run game, would have been a leadoff double by Derek Dietrich, but Michael A. Taylor going to the gap, spin move, 1 hopper right on the money. So yeah, all of those are our Miller moments. Michael A. Taylor may be having his best game as a major leaguer here tonight.
What a great place for it, right down the road from home. And he will lead off in the 8th against Kyle Bearclaw, 27-year-old flamethrower. 31st appearance, so he's been busy. He threw in 75 games for the Fish last year. 31 strikeouts in 30 innings, but this year he's walked a bunch, 22 already.
Yeah, fastball 95, slider 82, changeup occasionally at 89.
So here we are in the 8th inning. Taylor 2 for 3, double, single, 2 RBIs. And against Kyle Bearclaw, career 0 for 6, 5 punch-outs. Looking to make some contact. That's a curveball that ends up way outside. Strike 1. Adam Lind. Counts even. Showed bunt, got Dietrich on the move. No swing, 2-1. Very nice. Target away. Bearclaw with the heater way outside. Hasn't really thrown him a strike yet.
Manny Romero getting loose.
Got a day off yesterday. 33 pitches. Saturday when he got the save, his second in New York. Hard ball there, 3-2.
Hey, get to 3-1, take a chance. Why not? Good swing. Trying to hit one into the Clevelander.
Into the 10 o'clock hour. There was a time earlier tonight we thought it would be about the 5th inning at this time. Bullpens have, for the most part, settled down the ball game. Each pen has given up a run. So here we are in the 8th. (3-2) to Michael A. Breaking ball's going to ring him up in the zone, 1 out.
It took a little off that slider in a 3-2 count. Just kind of curved it in there. And I think Michael A. Taylor knew it. Good pitch.
There's Adam Lind, 0 for 1 career against Bearclaw. The best pinch hitters in the National League. Ichiro, he's had over 40 losing our audio. We are back, and we're going to the bottom of the 8th inning as Enny Romero has taken the mound for the Nats in this 7-7 game. So it'll be his 31st appearance, ERA 3.62. Long night in New York when he got 5 outs for his 2nd save of the year. Saturday evening in the Nats 7-4 win.
Fastball cutter slider combo, you know, the fastball triple digit variety, throwing strikes, and Justin Bour just got tangled up. Did you see that? With Carlos Torres. Torres was sweeping the plate, Bour was getting in the box, and they got their legs tangled, and Bour actually tripped over the umpires. He's getting in the box. Never seen that in my life.
We've said that several times about different things this year. Bour and Romero. The matchup is 0 for 1 with a ground ball out.
So Bour was getting in the box. They kind of locked legs and got hooked up. And Bour not too happy, right?
2-0.
There's shin guards underneath those pants, and that must have not felt good for Justin Bour.
He will lift a fly ball to short right center. Murphy pointing, and nobody takes charge. 3 Nats in the area, and Justin Bour is aboard. Murphy was pointing, and the outfielders then got there.
We're right in no man's land, right? Everybody.
So JT Realmuto will be next. Sorry, our audio got clipped again there for just a few seconds. Fortunately, this time. So the Marlins in the bottom of the 8th have their leadoff man on. Realmuto swinging away. 1 for 2 career with a home run against Enny Romero. Our audio problems straightened away thanks to Johnny and Ray, our friends helping us out from the Masson studio. We appreciate that. And it's a 7-7 game. The Potomac Nationals will be back in town on Thursday. 4-game homestand against Carolina. College night Thursday. League of their own Friday. First 1,000 fans Saturday get a 40th anniversary team card set. You know how to find them. Bottom of the screen. Here we go. Top of the ninth. A.J. Ramos is the Miami closer. No save tonight. He is 9 out of 10. But he's going to deal with Bryce Harper, Ryan Zimmerman, and Daniel Murphy.
A fastball 92, slider 81, changeup 85, occasional curveball.
81 career saves in 91 opportunities. So he hasn't been the most automatic guy in the National League. Off speed, curveball inside to Bryce Harper. Bryce is 2 for 10 career against him with a walk and 4 Ks.
Yeah, career against the Nationals, 37 games, 1-0 with a 1.95 ERA and 11 saves.
Skips that one in, ball 2. Another big double play ball by the Nats. Any Romero engineering that 5-4-3. 3 tonight. 10 in their last 4 games. Gets us to this point in the top of the ninth. Nothing but off speed to Bryce so far.
He's thrown Bryce a lot of change-ups in the past, I feel like, but he started this up with 3 sliders, I believe. There's a changeup.
Yep. Inside the Numbers brought to you by PNC Bank. Trio's most combined RBIs, Ryan, Bryce, Murph, 154. And those mashers from the NL West ahead of them. Big pitch right here. Bryce takes a strike.
I think he backdoored the slider here, and Bryce thought it was outside, and he was right. Close pitch, but like we've said all night, Carlos Torres has been looking for strikes both ways, not just against the Nats. The Marlins have let him know a few times too. Not where he wanted that pitch.
That was a changeup up, right?
Yeah, 86. I thought it was a fastball by the way Bryce swung at it. He was right on it. But it was a changeup. Let her high.
He misses with the fastball, and the tying, or rather the lead run, is on base here in the ninth.
Crowd's booing, but this started outside and had some arm side run to it and kept going further out. Good at bat by Bryce Harper. Now Ryan Zimmerman trying to move him along, or move himself along.
Ryan 4 for 14, a homer, 3 RBIs against Ramos. Gordon shades up the middle. A lot of ground ball and line drive room the other way. Get ahead, not always a good thing against this hitter.
.96. A.J. Ramos' fastball average is 92, but when you're Ryan Zimmerman, you have 19 home runs on the year. You get everybody's best bolt. I didn't know he had 96 in the tank, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen him throw a fastball that hard, but the gun's been hot all night. Who knows?
0-2. Zimmerman on the curveball, strikes out. First out, Daniel Murphy is next. Daniel 1 for 4 tonight, RBI double. 5 career hits, a homer, 2 RBIs, and 16 at bats against A.J. Ramos.
So you'd think everything in the sequence would be away to Daniel Murphy. We'll see what A.J. Ramos decides to do, but that changeup, backdoor slider. Yeah, I wouldn't try him in here. Yeah, he was not fully committed to the 2-0 fastball into Daniel Murphy. You see him kind of bail out on that halfway. And does Murph have the green light again? He had it last time. Very rarely do you see Daniel Murphy swing 3-0.
Sweet swinging lefty on deck here. Murphy taking all the way. Stephen Drew's replaced Anthony Rendon and done a beautiful job tonight.
Do you start Bryce Harper here in a 3-1 count?
Holding.
Do you start Bryce Harper here in a 3-2 count?
I would think so. I mean, Murphy 2 strikeouts tonight, but only 29 all year. This guy is a strikeout pitcher because all of his stuff is diving and darting. We'll see. 1 out. Bryce is short lead, so he's holding. And Murphy pops it up. Left side, Derek Dietrich. 2 outs. Tomorrow night, we're right back here at the same time. Gio Gonzalez is 6-1. In his big league career, he's 6-3 with a great 2.03 ERA against the Marlins. They will throw Edinson Volquez, who's 3-7 on the year, 3.72 with a no-hitter. A 2-3 career against Washington. 6:30, and that's extra. Stephen Drew 2 for 2 against Ramos, career 0 for 1.
You know, most of Bryce Harper's steals this year have been on the back end of Trey Turner steals, but they're not paying any attention to him right now. He's got 4 stolen bases.
Counts even, 1-1. By the way, Nationals bullpen empty. Eddie Romero threw 13 pitches in that 8th inning thanks to the double play.
Yeah, Bryce with 2 stolen bases, 2 caught stealing. I think both of those were trail end of Trey Turner, but you could ambush him right here. They're not checking him out at all.
Good take by Stephen Drew to get the count in his favor. stays up and away. 3-1.
Fans are getting restless here at Marlins Park. Pretty good frame by JT Realmuto. Didn't get the call.
That's going to be in there up in the zone. So now Bryce Harper will take off. Justin Bour, at least for now, at the bag. Two outs here in the top of the ninth of a tie game. Swing and a miss. Nationals strand their 8th runner of the night, and now Eddie Romero has to keep it tied. Is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Beautiful night in Miami. Hot ball game indoors. This one 7-7 going bottom 9, 8-9 and 1 due up. Shortstop JT Riddle. Tyler Moore is on deck. There's the former National. And Romero fires a strike. Pop fly. Ryan Zimmerman made the early call. 1 out. And here's Dan with more on Eddie Romero.
Bob, after a little bit of a shaky start to begin the season, some ups and downs, Eddie Romero has been fantastic the last couple weeks. And after that 5-out save in New York on Saturday, I asked Eddie where his confidence is at right now. He said it's incredibly high. He said even when he falls behind in the count, he has the confidence right now to fill up the strike zone and get outs. And that's the thing that all these Nationals talk about with Eddie. They know the stuff that he has. It's all about keeping him kind of in the right frame of mind, keeping that confidence level high. It's incredibly high right now.
Tyler Moore 0 for 1 against Eddie.
Well, you got to be careful out here. Tyler Moore swinging it. You know, he filled in for Justin Bour when he was on the DL and went 14 for 41, 341 average in 11 starts with some taters, so he's feeling it up there.
He's at 6 this year, 19 RBIs, 282. His Nationals numbers.
And a home run Saturday against the Braves. That had to feel good for the team that released him.
bit off there, huh? 89. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Stand him up with 100.
Swing and a miss, 2 down. Romero's 2nd strikeout.
Challenge fastball. What was this, 99? Little arm side run to it. You could see the confidence growing, like Dan was talking about, just by his body language after a strikeout. Nicely done. Could he be your closer until Coda Glover gets back?
Kind of looking like he is at the moment. D. Gordon is 0 for 1 against him. Drew close at 3rd just in case. Now the count goes to 2-0. D. Gordon 2 hits tonight. Clean single to left, a bunt single, 3rd base side in the 4th. Not a guy you want to walk anytime. Giancarlo Stanton on deck. His homer 2 innings ago, the reason this game's tied. Walked him on 4. Johnny Holliday and Ray Knight exhausted from play-by-play and analysis minutes ago. Have enough left for our Nats Extra post-game show. It's all presented by WB Mason when this one's over. Giancarlo Stanton 1 for 1 career against Eddie Romero. A solo home run. He was late.
I mean, the old saying is get beat with your best pitch. And if your best pitch 100, here we go. First pitch 97. Stanton gearing up, can't get there. So as a hitter, you're like, okay, I'm gonna start a little bit earlier on this one, because that was by me.
Runner going, throw into D. Gordon, who steals the 2nd base of the night. Trey Turner there to pick up the redirect. And the winning runs at 2nd base.
So even though the count is even to Stanton, you have first base open. Do you want a left-on-left matchup with Christian Yelich on deck? I guess that's the question right now for Matt Weaves. I think they're walking him. Are they walking him? No, they're not.
Taking a big chance by pitching to him. The count is 0-2. Pardon me, 1-1. According to what we have. Scoreboard here says 0-2. Fastball away. And Murphy boots it. And for a moment, I thought D. Gordon might keep coming around 3rd. So the winning run is 90 feet away. Ball that probably had a lot of spin when it got to Daniel.
So they had it played perfect, went with the fastball, and Stanton, it's a one-hop bullet to Daniel Murphy, came up and bit him. Waiting for D. Gordon to turn around 3rd base to try to get him napping, but it didn't work. And now Christian Yelich with a chance to be a hero for the Marlins. Hey, just play behind Giancarlo Stanton right here. His run doesn't mean a thing. If you're Ryan Zimmerman, you got to get range here. There's no percentage in holding Stanton on, so if he wants to steal 2nd, go ahead. probably will here just to make the Nats throw across the infield, shoot Yelich hit a ground ball.
They gave Stanton a hit on that. So he's running and he just motors into second.
Yelich squaring around the bunt. Did you see that?
Interesting.
All right.
Fan behind says, hey, 2 outs.
Well, if you bunt, you're bunting for a hit.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to bunt 100, so maybe he was just doing that to take a strike. I don't know.
Yelich on 3 times tonight without hitting the ball. 2 walks and hit by a pitch. Eddie Romero almost threw it away. 2-0. Drew's about 15 feet off the third base bag. D. Gordon could come down a lot farther than he is. There he comes. Two balls, 1 strike.
I'll tell you what, just watching Christian Yelich and his body language right now, he's a lot like Anthony Rendon. Nothing phases the guy. I mean, he's got second and third, 2 outs, tie game, bottom of the 9th, and he's up there smiling, relaxed. Just took a monster hack on a 2-0 pitch. Doesn't mean he's going to succeed here, but that's what you'd like to see if you're Don Mattingly.
2-1 pitch. All 3. Up in the zone, and the count is full.
Got to be the ceiling, doesn't it? Matt Wieters half stood up to catch that ball. They get the strike go. Count goes to 3-2.
Seven game. 3-2 pitch. Bases loaded. Marcell Ozuna is 1-for-1 career against Eddie Romero with a double and a walk. For 6 with 9 RBIs this year with the bases loaded.
You feel like he's going to be swinging here early, whether it's the first pitch or not. I mean, I feel like he is. In these situations, historically, Marcell Ozuna has swung early in the count. We haven't seen him since April, but that's what he's done in the past.
Out of play.
First pitch slider. So 2 outs, nobody on, a walk, a single, and a walk, and here we are.
Swing and a miss on 99. Strike 2.
Well, you don't have to throw him a strike anytime soon. You got a couple of pitches to play with. He's telling you, I'm winning this game by swinging, and Matt Wieters and Eddie Romero have to see that. So you can expand here. Fastball up. Out of the zone, see if he'll chase.
That ball headed for the gap in left center, and the game is over.
So there's command within the strike zone and command out of the strike zone, and I feel like Eddie Romero had plenty of time to expand right here, and he throws it right down the middle, 0-2. Look where it is, maybe middle in, but he had a few pitches to play with. Marcell Ozuna told you, I'm winning this game by swinging. He swung at a ball for strike 1, he swung at a ball for strike 2, and maybe Eddie tried to expand right there and get it out of the zone, but the last thing you want to do with the guy that's amped up in a walk-off situation is to throw him a strike when you're 0-2. Anything there he's swinging at. And he threw him a pitch right down the middle and he made him pay.
Marlins tie the season series 2-2. They strike first in this series in a game where the Nats led 6-0 with Tanner Roark on the mound, and this series off to a tough start. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. 8-7 Marlins tonight. It'll be Gio Gonzalez and Edinson Volquez. Nats Extra begins at 6:30 tomorrow evening. This has been a massive presentation. Stay tuned, Johnny and Ray straight ahead with Nats Extra postgame. And from Miami, so long for just a while.